When I go through some of this stuff today and explain to you how you can have a big business and freedom and all that, I realise you may at this point even be thinking how you can escape this business because you've never been so humiliated in your life as the last week or whatever your experiences are, okay? But I certainly get it. We've been through all of those emotions, and here's the good news. About 90% of your emotional roller coasters are in the first 3 months, okay? For 90% of your whole career. If you survive the first 3 months, you're pretty okay. So, pardon? Oh, you can move it? Okay. I understand that. So just because I'm going to go fast and go, hey, look, this is easy. Just go break, 27 leaders clubs, go Emerald and enjoy the rest of your life. I realise at this point in time may not be that easy in your head, but certainly some little kid who's not yet put a snowboard on, and he saw, Scotty James getting a bronze medal in the half pipe, has probably got pretty fired up seeing the end result, and decided, you know what, that'd be pretty cool. And so I don't know if you saw. I normally like the downhill skiing racing, because that's like crazy to see how fast those people go. But I mean, I think I've done it, but not in control. So it's quite interesting to see people actually do it intentionally. So that's amazing. That's usually my favourite part, but this time the snowboarding halfpipe was by far my favourite part. But I mean, it just, you got to get a vision for what's possible, even though you're totally crap at the moment, okay? And just in case you're not sure, you are totally crap. You didn't do anything right up until this point coming into this room. And that's perfectly fine, so don't worry about that. So we'll correct some of those things maybe, or some of those questions you can ask today and get that clear. But the good news is, we all start somewhere, and next time I went skiing, I had my boots on the right way. It was a bit easier. Then I got, stuff that didn't get wet. Realised you could hire a bib and brace. It makes you look like a complete moron for about $10 there. And then eventually we bought gear, and we got good gear, and we got, custom-made boots. And okay, it gets better down the track, but you've got to start somewhere. But here's what's down the track. Honestly, when I look ahead to the next 3 or 4 years, I don't think I have ever seen a time as exciting as what's coming up in the entire time in my business. And when we were like motoring in this thing, like we're going to go 21% kind of like decision, we've made the decision. Not that there was much evidence of it then, but when we were at that stage, I remember the two exciting announcements. One was that the Achievers trip was going to be in Hamilton Island, okay? Because traditionally it had been either Maroochydore or Surfers Paradise. So the Achievers trip was going to be Hamilton Island. It's like, what? What will they do next? Boy, did we come in at the right time. This is amazing, okay? And we actually qualified for that one in Hamilton Island, that was the beginning of 30 odd Achievers trips we qualified for. Doesn't matter where they've been, all over the world, same feeling. That first day, looking around like a little guppy in the pool, and we saw all these emeralds and diamonds there, and we went, wow, yeah, this is so cool. So the trip doesn't matter where it is, but that was one announcement. The other announcement was Amway was releasing socks with PV on it. Okay, now that was very handy when we were going Leaders Club. It's another story. But that was the two highlights, like vision casting. Like we went to this meeting, and it's like, you're going to Hamilton Island and with socks, like with PV. From now on, you can go PV there, baby. Like, okay, we went home, couldn't sleep. Oh, this is the most exciting thing I've ever seen. So this is kind of a little ridiculous when I think about the next 3 or 4 years you guys have got in front of you. Honestly, it's like I'll physically come and slap you if you don't get excited, and I'll come to your house, I know where you live, and burn your house down, all right? So I'll do... So here's to cut to the chase. There's 3 years I've laid out there. Amway's fiscal years, if you're brand new guppy here, they run from September to August. So we're February now, so we like... halfway pretty much through a fiscal year. So this fiscal year ends end of August. The next fiscal year goes August 19, the next fiscal year August 20. This fiscal year is Amway of Australia's 50th birthday, okay? And we've been talking endlessly, nagging, I'm not sure the right word, but Amway is going to dream up some unbelievably phenomenal stuff here. And as a clue, I think if you were an emerald, by then you'd be extremely glad, okay? But you're going to get some pretty amazing stuff here. This will be a year to remember the rest of your life. It'll never ever happen again, ever. And everybody, you got 3 years to set this up. It's a joke, okay? So again, I know you don't understand this. I know you haven't got on your snowboard yet, and a 22-foot half pipe looks hard, okay? That's all right, but this is what that is. So to me, setting up 3 years to do that, I did 4 years at engineering, you know, and it was a nightmare. I didn't like any of it. I didn't like anything I was learning. Nothing I was learning seemed relevant to anything. I just did it because I finished it because I started it, okay, for one thing. That was one thing. The other thing was it was in semesters. And it was just like, okay, I'll just do like one semester at a time and then I'll worry, figure out whether I come back or not. And some of you have done degrees or apprenticeships and stuff that you hate, right? Anybody with me on that? You look back and you go, that was ridiculous. Like, what did I do that for? So here are the fiscal years. So there's 3 years of focus. To me, the highlight of that whole thing is going to be here in Hawaii. There's a Network 21 event, which will certainly have worldwide leaders there. It's not a worldwide event, but it's going to be American leaders, Australian leaders, there's a lot of Indonesian leaders, and random people from Europe and all over the place go there. And we're all lobbying in there for that week. You've got to be a platinum from Australia to go to that, okay? So, I don't even know how to begin to explain that to you, but when you go to a normal Achievers trip, like you talk to your upline that's been to an Achievers trip and get the feeling of being in a winning team and seeing the emeralds and diamonds, and here you get to see all Network 21 leaders. And, you know, you just get to hang out. I just got an SMS today from Ray Keller. He's in Hungary. This weekend, he's doing a weekend seminar in Hungary, and he's doing a special little meeting for our group in Hungary. He's in Austria next weekend. There's like huge things happening all over the world. But I mean, many of you have seen Ray Keller. Hopefully you've all heard Ray Keller. But there, you won't be able to escape him. Trust me, he'll track you down and he'll tell you a story or two. You'll be able to sit around the pool for hours, take your sunscreen, and, you know, Ray Keller, like, what an amazing guy. Where would you ever meet someone like that outside of this business? I have no idea. I would never have met someone from Weena, Arkansas. You know, like, it's ridiculous. So, and I mean, how'd you like to just hang out with Louis Carrillo there at the pool? His stories will be shorter, okay? But it'll be cool just to go, there's Louis, you know, like that's cool, okay? Who else? I mean, just Bob Andrews, you know, just see Bob and Terry Andrews sitting there. And on the first CD that I ever heard from Bob or Terry was from Terry, and it's called Women's Approaches, and it was a prospecting CD on how she prospected as a woman. And how would I ever know that those people would be, you know, again, skiing. We had some great skiing holidays with them, and just the other night, you know, it was Tam's birthday a couple of weeks ago or so, and we got together on Sunday night to show some family videos, okay? So, which you're welcome to come along and have a look at any time, now that we found them. But we're going to find a lot more. And it had Hamilton Island. It had some family stuff there, but also had some business stuff. It had like Hamilton Island, 1995, 1996, where we would hang out as a group in Hamilton Island, go there on holidays. And you know, one of the things that struck me, and so, yeah, when you're very new, or even you medium, you know, you're medium rare in this thing, and you don't really know what's going on yet, to understand the longevity of this business and the power of this business, we watched enough to put Shannon to sleep. He fell asleep. So we watched quite a lot, and there was a lot of leaders there, and you know, all of those people, 100% of those people in 1995 and 1996 are in the business today at higher levels. There was 3 exceptions. Two of them passed away. 2 of them, emeralds, had passed away in that time, okay? Everybody else moved up, and now one took a long sabbatical, much like Ross and Cindy did, who was Paul Salter. He was in that video 1995, 1996, and then he wouldn't have been in the, you know, 98, 99, 2000 edition, but he came back and he went emerald last year. Those of you that know Paul and Belinda went emerald. So just when you understand the longevity of this thing and the power of this thing, I don't know where else, wow, you know, you can look at that. And we were still, you know, clueless wonders building this thing. We didn't even know what we're doing. And when you think, wow, the people you hang around with, can be there forever, but have built solid businesses. And one of the reasons they built solid businesses is doing some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, so there is a reason for why I'll talk about it tonight. And so far we haven't had many questions, but I got tons of questions for you. So don't worry about that. Okay, so here's the bottom line, is you've got to be a platinum. It's not a free trip. You pay to go. Okay, get that clear? However, if you're looking ahead and you're saying, why don't I just plan, one almighty family holiday there and make that my reward, you're going to have holidays somewhere, sometime. My experience is most people have these, silly little things that cost money, and they don't have something they're going to have a memory of, forever. You will remember that forever. There was an event in July '95 in Hawaii, similar to that, and those of us that went, we will never forget it, and it never be repeated. It's always different. So if I was sitting here and I was a little kid on my snowboard and I got fired up about seeing the Winter Olympics, that'd be non-negotiable to go, I'm going there, okay? So, okay, maybe you haven't caught the bug yet, that's okay, we get it. But if you can just, for the moment, just sort of grasp that and the power of that, you will leave that function a completely different person. Your level of depth and understanding and pride in Network 21 will be at a completely different level, like nothing else, okay? And it's very hard to compare when you haven't been to a large Network 21 event of worldwide leaders that you listen to on audios all the time, and now you're there. And better still, that they may even get to know your name there, So that's it. I'm going to wipe this off soon, okay? And it's a frigging masterpiece, because I'm going to need the whiteboard in a second. So you better capture this in your brain. It's not that complicated, actually. However, here's the point, that PhD is a weekend, Leaders Club weekend, which is on August 11, 12. That is the catalyst for everything that happens next year, everything. Now, there are some intangibles in this business, your dreams, your desires, your passions, your feelings, your emotions, your nightmares you're running from, there are some intangibles that will dictate where you go very much, okay? Like your desire, your burning desire, there are some tangibles that are measurable, and the structure of your business is one of them. You can't get away from it. You cannot escape some basic tangible things. So I'm just giving you a goal here while you're trying to figure out what it could be if you knew. And this is a Leaders Club event. All of Saturday, starts Saturday 10 a.m., goes right through till Sunday Arvo. And it's just leaders information above. It's like a 15-plan meeting for hours and hours and hours, okay? Just leadership information from the best of the best. And that equips you, like you'd have no idea, but also it'll equip the people you have there. And what we're suggesting is the right goal to set for now, to launch everything, is how many teams you will have at PhD. If you've got a bigger business, what sort of depth of teams? How many Leaders Clubs in depth will you have? And here's the bottom line, okay? And you won't escape this. Whatever your business looks like here is going to dictate this whole year of income, bonuses, structure, trips, Hawaii. If you qualify for Hawaii, you'll automatically qualify for the next Achievers, which is here, which there's rumours floating around, apparently, but you can talk to your upline about that, which is pretty amazing. Speaking of snowboarding, I think you can, anyway, so pretty amazing. So there are rumours of where this one is, but the point is you can achieve all of that if you've got the right structure here, okay? So you can't escape this. And I'll explain why in a second, all right? I might jump ahead and then I'll come back. Will I? No, maybe I'll explain it now. All right. It's probably a good question for you to ask. Yeah, why not? Well, okay, well, let me just one more second. I'll just explain. Here, these guys, okay, just number one, to go 21%, I'll draw it up in a second, you need like a nice 21% business is a 15% team, a 12% team, a 9% team, 6%, 3%, 3%. You got 6 bonus producing leagues. That's a good 21% business. You'll earn about $2,500. And okay, that's the structure. So out of those, you've got 3 Leaders Club legs. It means you've got some other stuff happening there, but I'll draw it out for you in a second. And that means you've got the structure. The difference is here, these people haven't just got the business, they've now been equipped at a weekend, a whole weekend, where your Leaders Clubs are getting equipped what to do after this. And you're going to have 3 very motivated legs coming out of that. Now, there's an unbelievable formula when an upline is fired up and they've got a downline who's fired up, and the upline knows what to do and they're prepared to do it, okay? Because sometimes the downline can be fired up and come out, and then what happens? Maybe you had somebody who got fired up at the weekend seminar. It was just 2 weeks ago. And on Wednesday, you couldn't find them. I don't know if that happened to anybody, but you know, why do we have CDs? Why do we have books? Why do we have audios? Why do we have these functions? Because people's thinking needs to change so dramatically. You know, I was reading a book, which is a story I've heard many times, but since you haven't got any questions, I'll tell you a story. Just about the 5 monkeys, and it's a scientific experiment you probably have heard, but I read about it in this book this week again, and it just reminded me, they got 5 monkeys in a room, okay, similar to the guys you showed the plan to last week, and they had some fresh bananas hanging here, and so every time one of the monkeys would try and climb up the pole to get the bananas, they would spray freezing cold water on all of the monkeys. Okay, so pretty soon they got sick of getting drenched when a monkey would jump up, try and get the bananas. So every time a monkey went for the bananas, the other 4 would drag him down. Get down, you moron. You know, like, come on, okay? And then what would happen is they took one of the monkeys out, put a new monkey in who didn't know the dynamics. So the new monkey would then, oh, bananas, you know, he'd go, and then the others are pulling down, idiot, you know, don't you know what's going on here? So the other monkeys would pull him down. This is a true story on how it works. So then eventually the 4 old monkeys, 1 new monkey, so the new monkey now gets the drift, geez, you know, if I even think about bananas, these guys are going to beat me up. So then they replace another old monkey, and then they replace another. Eventually they replace all the monkeys with new monkeys, and none of them go for the bananas at all, and they don't know why. Do you know what I mean? Like, it started that there was a reason why they got pulled down. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you don't know why you're struggling with dreams and goals, but you've had, you know, some monkey pull your freaking legs down many, many times during your life, okay? And you don't really know why. And you wonder why are these guys talking about audios all the time, and why do you need to go at every function, like even a business preview, how that helps your thinking and being around the right people is dramatic, okay? So your little monkey here is going to get equipped, get vision, get dreams, but if he's got an upline that knows what he's doing, then you can get magical success, okay? So I'm going to say, so the goal is 21% by September, okay? Now, some of you would think you could do it quicker. Some of you had no goal. Some of you had nothing you thought about. But 21% by September, okay, is the suggestion if you're brand new here, got into the room, and you're not new, okay? So either way. So what happened to the board wiper? Gee, okay. I thought you wandered off. Okay, what does 21% look like? I'll just need a little bit of time to look at my notes while the expensive board wiper's doing his thing. That's punishment for leaving us stranded for 20 years. How awesome is it when people come back, like Ross and Cindy, hey? I can remember, like yesterday, our first really big weekend seminar that we had, which was in Canberra. And in those days, Diamonds ran their own weekend seminars. And I'll remember it like yesterday. We had Bev working for us, as some of you knew, and then we had this young girl, Shannon, who was 17, and she was working for us. And we had all these people and, you know, look after tools. And there was Ross and Cindy helping out as usual. Like, just like they were out of control. And Ross and Cindy just grabbed the reins, take control, you know, organise everything. And nothing's changed. Hey, it's good. But for 20 years, it sucked. Okay. So, all right. 21%. This is what 21% looks like. You got about 150 people in your team. You got about 45 people on CP, Network 21 app, and you got like 10 people that are 15 planners. Okay. They're probably not news to you unless you're brand new. But 21% is 7,500 PV. Which is really discouraging if you've done 12 PV this month and you're new in the room. Okay, I get it, and we understand that too. But it's interesting how this works. Where does the 7,500 PV come from? And just in case you want to like visualize, which is really important, is here's 100 PV of NutriWay and some sports nutrition, right? So that's 100 PV. Here's 100 PV of artistry. Here's 100 PV of home care and personal care.